guys, welcome to Miss Rose J. Thank you for tuning into my channel. I kind of just wanted to talk to you guys about, and don't mind this sun, it's so bright, Lord. I did want to come and talk to you guys right now. I'm in my car. I just got off work and I pulled over because I gotta be at a meeting at 7, and between now, which is like maybe 5 something, and 7 o'clock, I got some time to burn, so I figured why not I do a YouTube video. So this is what I might do on Wednesdays from now on. I think I'll just sit in this car and do a YouTube video. Like, why not? I did want to come and talk to you guys about cut-off season. So I feel like in the beginning of every single year, for whatever reason, we decide that we want to go ahead and cut off everybody and their mama, and we want to find everything that's wrong with everybody else, and we never take responsibility for the things that we do. And we go through our contacts every December 31st, or maybe we don't, or maybe we just have the mindset of, I don't even need to go through my contacts, I ain't just gonna hit them up no more. We just do that, and it just continues and continues, and we get upset, and we get more bitter, and we get more angry at people, making them like, making it seem like we're the picture of perfection, like we're Jesus Christ on the throne, when we're not. And then we judge people by their shortcomings, and we tell people, you know what, if you ain't doing nothing for me, if you're not paying me, if you're not in a relationship with me, if you're not blah 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 to whatever to me, adding benefit to me, adding privilege, whatever, adding something to me in some shape or form, then you aren't worth my time, you're getting cut off. And so I feel like there's a huge problem with that perspective, and I say this because I share that perspective. Let me lean this car seat a little back. It's a little close to y'all, but I think I want to be close, but not that close. I don't know if this is better. I feel like the sun is so bright, like maybe I should just stay right here, just right here, whatever. Yeah, and so the problem, there's a huge problem with that, and the problem is we cut off people because they add no benefit to us, as if we're not called to be servants. If you don't belong to God, whatever, this doesn't apply to you, but I hope you can apply it to your life, because it's just real. It's just, I feel like, what a sane person should do. But we're not all sane here. But anyway, if you belong to God, you know what it means to be a servant. You know what it means. I'm getting hot. You know what it means to be a servant. You know, or maybe you don't know what it means, but I'm gonna tell you what it means. We are called to be servants. We are called to forgive 77 times, and 77 times is not even like a literal number. We are called to let go of bitterness, let go of slanderous talk, malicious talk. That is what us believers are called to do. So when you switch up and say, when you as a believer, I should say, switch the record and say, I'm not gonna do nothing for nothing who does nothing for me, then you missed it. You missed it, because Jesus didn't owe us anything. He didn't owe us anything. In fact, we deserve death. We deserve death because of our sins, because of the ways in which we have betrayed him, denied his name, not only with our mouths, but with our lifestyles. We had said to him over and over again that we don't think he is of any value to us. But God took all of that. Jesus took all of that, and he said, you know what? I'm gonna die for you. I'm gonna die for you, and I'm gonna go on this cross. And even at the cross, guys, there was two people next to him, two criminals, one to the left, one to the right. One of them, I don't know which side it was, but let's say it was the one on the left. The one on the left is like, man, if you God, why don't you get down off of that cross? Why don't you be about it? Why, like, you know, coming for him, coming for Jesus on the cross, guys. And you know what? Another person on his right was just like, you know what? Don't talk to him like that. Don't talk to my Lord and Savior like that. Jesus, I deserve this. You don't deserve this. I deserve this. You know, what can I do to like make it into paradise with you? Like, what can I do to be with you? And Jesus on the cross next to two for real criminals, two people who he was actually dying for, he goes to them and he says, well, he goes to the person on his right and he says, on this day you will see me in paradise. That's forgiveness. That is him doing, probably disrespecting the guy on the right, probably disrespecting Jesus his whole life with his lifestyle. But yet at that last moment, at 11:59, he wants to be like, Lord, can I see you in heaven? And Jesus says yes. Can you believe that? Like, I don't know, but that's just forgiveness. And that is the kind of Jesus we serve. He serves us. And he teaches us to serve us. I mean, he teaches us to serve him by serving others. And he taught us by the way he served every single person he ever encountered. Every single person who went to Jesus for a miracle got one. He didn't say no to nobody. He did not say no to nobody. They couldn't do anything for him. Nothing. And he still did it. He still did it. Even Judas, he washed the feet of Judas, guys. Knowing in just a few short hours that Judas was gonna like roll up on him with some other folk talking about, this is him. This is the one doing all the blasphemy and all that stuff. This is the one y'all trying to get after. Well, go get him. Give him a kiss of betrayal. And Jesus still washed his feet that night. And I just feel like that's just the example of the kind of love. Like, I mean, what kind of person, like, could you do ministry? Could you be friends with? Could you work with someone who you knew was going to set you up, send you over to someone for death for money? Could you do that? No. I know I probably couldn't. In fact, I know I couldn't. That's why Jesus had to do it, because I couldn't do it. But the thing is, like, Jesus doesn't even ask us for all of that, because he already did that. What he does ask us to do is forgive. He tells us to forgive. He tells us to love. He tells us to remove that bitterness, that maliciousness, and some of us just hold on to it. And we become the offender by holding on to the offenses of others. And not only are we offending God by holding on to the offenses of others, but we're offending ourselves. We're offending ourselves because we're making ourselves bitter. We're making ourselves angry. Who wants to be around someone like that? Who wants to live a life like that? This cutoff culture that everyone wants to do, it's not of God. It's not of God. And the thing is, it's like, I know, guys, I know people do some messed up, foul stuff. People be crazy. People are so crazy. And you know what? Like, people just do some crazy stuff. I was going to tell y'all a story, but I'm not going to do that. But the thing is, we're called to forgive them. It doesn't mean we have to be in relationship with them, but it means we have to be in reconciliation with them. no matter what they did to us, no matter what they did to us. And if you're just feeling like, whatever, I'm gonna cut them off, it is what it is, you're doing yourself more harm than them. Because when you stand before God, you did everything. You did everything right. You served him, you fed the homeless, you did all of these good deeds. And when you get before him and he's like, I asked you to forgive that person, why didn't you? And you're like, God, I couldn't. Why? Didn't I teach you how to forgive? Didn't I command you to forgive? So don't fall victim to these things, these teachings that tell us to be bitter on purpose. Do for people. Do for people. I don't care if they don't do for you. Do for them. You're supposed to be a servant. And the thing is, like, I feel like we take Christ so lightly. We take Jesus so lightly. We take him so lightly. It's like Jesus, he knows there's a cost to following him. It's gonna have us kill our flesh. Jesus had to crucify his flesh. What makes you think that you don't have to die to yourself in some type of way? In every single way. What makes you think you don't have to die to your pride? What? Because that's what it is, really. It's pride. It's pride magnified and glorified. It's pride, just pretty much just you're telling people, you know what you did to me, who you are, if you're adding no benefit to me, goodbye. That's pride. Nobody is that special. We need to humble ourselves. Humble ourselves. And the thing is, like, I used to be super ready to cut someone off. I used to be so ready. And I feel like now I've become just a lot more introspective and looking at myself. Where did I fall off? What did I do to make that person react in the way that they reacted to me? Or why do I have such an expectation of someone to give to me when they don't owe me anything? You know, what makes me feel like I'm just this prized possession to anyone else except for God, because that's the only person who I should find value in and who values me the most. So if you're fallen victim to this cutoff culture, I just suggest that you kind of take a step back and judge yourself first. You know, judge yourself first. What did you do? What did you do? They add no benefit to you, but what benefit did you add to them? If you're a believer, they added no benefit to you, but why does it matter when you're supposed to serve them anyway? The non-believers, the believers, you're supposed to serve them anyway. You're supposed to love them anyway. You're supposed to pray for them anyway. And the thing is, like, we gotta get to step one first. And step one is loving the people who disagree with us. Some of us are so mad at people when they disagree with us, or when they argue with us, or we get in an argument with them. We get so mad. We get so frustrated. We feel like, you know, I'm the smartest person in the world. This person can't talk to me like that. Goodbye. But, like, is that really worth the relationship? Is an offense worth the relationship? Is it worth feeling so bitter? It's not, guys. It's never. There's a saying that us brown folks say, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. It isn't that deep. Like, we can't even learn to love people who love us unconditionally. We gotta get to step one first. We gotta love people. We gotta love our neighbor. And from that point on, that's when we can start loving our enemies and loving all of these people who offend us. Because if we can't love the people who love us, how can we love the people who hate us? So we gotta get back into submission to what the Bible actually says. Nowhere in the Bible does it say, if your friend offends you, cut her off and never talk to her again, delete her on Facebook, block her, all this other stuff. And the thing is, let me back up. I understand if the offense is burning in your heart and you want to protect your heart, you want to guard your heart by not seeing that person because you probably haven't spoken or whatever. Like, I understand that part. I feel like that's okay. But do you have a plan of reconciliation, or are you just going to let it fester until you blow up on the person? Because I've been guilty of that. I've been super guilty of that, and I regret it. I don't regret my feelings. I don't regret the things I said, but I regret the way of going about it, just letting it fester and not having a plan of reconciliation, because God had a plan of reconciliation with us from the beginning. From Genesis, he knew. When Eve, probably even before Eve put her mouth on that apple, when Eve put her mouth on that apple, he was just like, I already got a plan for this. I already got a plan for this. I already have a plan to reconcile myself back to them. They sinned against me. But I got a long-term plan to forgive these people, to love on these people, to bring them back to me, to be in relationship with them. I'm already sinning myself. I already know. And you know what? I'm going to show a piece of myself in every single book of the Bible until you see that my whole plan, my whole intention was to be in relationship with you. Guys, let's get back. Let's get back to what the Bible says and really listen, really have hearts that are softened by God, forgiving hearts. I know things hurt. I know things go deep, things fester and it becomes awkward. I understand that. But we gotta be more about our feelings. We gotta be more about than just our emotions. Because he's not gonna ask us, what did we feel? On Judgment Day, he's gonna be like, what did I tell you to do? Your feelings can catch up. So that is all I gotta say. And I want you guys to go ahead and subscribe on the left side. Subscribe to my channel. But thank you for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.